Sagittarius, this is your forecast for June of 2021. And I'd like to start out with your ruler, which is Jupiter, right? Jupiter is always known for the happy-go-lucky energy, which will expand any area upon which it touches and whatever planet it's transiting. And for you, it will be transiting your fourth house, which means Jupiter, which is very generous and abundant, it's wanting to expand the foundation of where and how you live. The fourth house is your home. It is your foundation. Some of you might want to feel like you're wanting to move or expand, say, the square footage of where you live. So it's exciting. Jupiter comes around to this area only once every 12 years, and we're only going to get a little feel of it. It's going to go probably to end of summer into early autumn, and then it's going to retrograde and go back into the third house where it's been to the rest of the year. But then at least you're going to have a sense and a feel of what 2022 is going to be all about when it goes back into Pisces, back into your home area. So if you're not able to conclude everything within these first couple of months where you're getting your toes wet, well, then you know what is going to take place in 2022. Now, normally it takes a whole year for Jupiter to go through a sign. It came into Aquarius, your third house, top of the year, and it's only 5 months, and it's already passed through Aquarius, that third house. That had to do with a lot of curiosity. It is a Gemini house, so I can see a lot of you have been doing a lot of research, looking for this and that, maybe feeling a little antsy because Jupiter wants to travel. Of course, we've had COVID, restrictions, and so forth. But, armchair traveling is a good thing. Maybe some of you have already been doing research of maybe new areas that you'd like to live, and then starting to look into it here this summer. Some of you will be able to take that jump and that transition. Some of you will start it but not finalize it, but then you know what you're having to look forward to. Big changes in 2022. So at least you're going to get a feel for it. Then we have Mercury Retrograde. That's another topic I want to focus a little bit on this month for you, Sagittarius. It is in your 7th house for relationships, any relationships that are close, like one-on-one, either with your spouse, your significant other, clients that you work with, maybe one-on-one. This communication can come to see a couple of maybe interruptions or misunderstandings. There's delays. If there's contracts, Mercury rules contracts as well, might have a little bit of a hiccup. Then we have to go back and redo, retweak, and whatnot. So listen, just tell yourself that it's super important here in June to listen to what your partner is saying, right? Make sure that they're hearing what you're saying too, so we don't get too many miscommunications, right? That has to then be worked on down the road. It's only to the 23rd, so I'm saying hold off to July. If you can, to get anything contractually written or signed. If you have to, you have to, but if you can hold off to July, Mercury will be in a much better place to look out for you and have your back in any new kind of transactional agreements. But, it's also any kind of mechanical, electronical devices. We never do want to end up buying anything under a retrograde because they can have funky parts. Maybe you're going to have to return it back to Amazon or wherever you buy it, right? And it's just all that extra hassle to get it up. Definitely you don't want to get a vehicle or any big appliances. Wait for July for that too. Then we have Venus. Venus, though, is all about love and money and romance and those things. You do have it as we start off the month in the 7th house, which is a great place for Venus to be, just because we're sharing all that heart energy, that sense of beauty that we hold in our spirits and how we share and receive. But that is going to be moving into your 8th house there on the 3rd. And what will that do? Well, the 8th house is all about shared monies, right? It's monies that you hold with your partner or the banks, mortgage companies, investments, and so forth. Venus will be looking into it. Now, it is a good place if you're thinking of wanting to invest because Venus rules money. The eighth house is all about investments too. A lot of you are looking into cryptocurrencies, which is a big thing right now. So that could be good. But bear in mind though, as long as Mercury's retrograde, be careful. Don't overdo it. You know, research it, but don't overdo it so you don't want to end up being sorry for it, right? So that will lift when Mercury goes direct after June 23rd. But Venus might be very curious. How can I grow my money? Because the second house is about the money you earn from the job that you have, right? Your weekly, monthly check. The eighth house is all about savings, investments, and so forth. So you will see that this is going to pick up. And when I say pick up, why? Well, because Mars has been working through this area. Some of you have already been laying down the groundwork of looking into how to grow your savings and investments. Mars has been really busy here in May. So I feel not just the level of curiosity, but actually opening up certain doors you have. Venus is going to come in and follow the path that you, or should I say your Mars, has carved out for you here. Just bear in mind, Mercury retrograde, we don't want to trip up with that. So yeah. Then I want to talk about the new moon is also in the area of relationships. And the new moon is when we place our intentions, and where should that point towards at this time? Well, to anything seventh house related, partnerships, love and romance, marriage, those kind of things. So it could be something like, I really want more of this good communication, this good partnering, you know, and if it's with clients, the seventh house rules that too, that you're wanting to up this level, then that is what your intentions should be all about. Especially, you know, Venus has just kind of revamped and lit up this energy for you. So I think that this new moon could be really good for that. That's on June 10th. And for those of you having any planets that are around 19 degrees, is going to be affected even more so by this. So we have that in the full moon, which is going to be 3 degrees in Capricorn. So for you, Sagittarius, that full moon, and we know how the full moon will always illuminate any area that it touches, your area of income is going to be illuminated this month. And this is taking place on June 24th. And it's the mid-year, right? So we have that midsummer celebration, 23rd, 24th. This is a great time to have the full moon, to come in and usher in what it is that you feel now that you deserve, what you have been working for, right? So that is also something to mark on your calendar. And this is pretty much the short and the skinny of what we can expect here in June. I'll see you next month. In the meanwhile, have a great month. Bye now, Sagittarius.